As most of you know, I'm a teacher and I follow a account on Instagram called Bored Teachers, and this principal came on today in response to Betsy DeVos reopening the schools. She was saying that school children need to go back to school because they've been missing, and they've been missing school during the closing of the pandemic, and they're falling behind. So he said, Betsy, you need to sit down and listen on this one. So I was compelled to make a video to let everybody know what I did during distance learning and how that experience was for me. I teach 18 to 22-year-olds. My definition is a moderate to severe teacher, so all of my students have moderate to severe needs, meaning intellectually or physically. I have 13 students and 5 staff members, so that's 6 including me. Many of my students require an adult there for mobility, for behavior, for safety. During our day, we go out in the community for community-based instruction. So maybe we'll have 4 different groups or 3 different groups. Some of them will walk or roll down to the racket club. Some of them will get in the van and go to recycling. Some of them will hop on the beeline and go downtown to work. So we're very busy and we're out in the community all day. We come back for lunch. We assist with multiple bathroom needs. And in the afternoon, we do, if we get there, if we don't have any hiccups throughout the day and I don't have to chase anyone or call anyone or help anyone, in the afternoon we do academics, socially emotional, communication, or something else. Since my students have such high needs, it's every day is interesting, and I found that it is kind of difficult to plan because sometimes the day just doesn't go that way. And with distance learning, let me tell you some positives about distance learning. So some positives from distance learning was it gave me enough time to adequately plan for each individual student, because out of my 13 students, what they're working on and their ability levels are all in a range. Some of them are working on reading and writing. Some of them are working on speech. Some of them are working on behavior. Some of them are working on academics. So almost everything of what we're doing in my classroom is based on social and communication, because my goal when I want them to leave is I want them to be able to have a conversation with people in their house and in their community. So the basis of my classroom is being together and having that social interaction. And that was the saddest thing about the school closures, is because basically that's the emphasis of my whole class, is being together. So when that started, I was pretty apprehensive about my ability to provide an adequate education through virtual distance learning, because it just seemed like it was so out there, and it was so new and bizarre, because again, my class, we're all together. So I was apprehensive when we started, but and this is when Betsy said the students are missing out and they're not learning, there was so much work being done behind the scenes. So all the speech therapists were meeting together, all of the administrators were meeting together, and the principals, and every day we were getting emails for resources and webinars and seminars. So there was just an abundance of information out there that we could tap into from home. And then what was also happening is that we were having meetings, small group meetings. So I would meet with all the other Mod Severe teachers once a week. I would meet with all the administrators once a week. I would meet with the speech therapist once a week. So there was so much collaboration going on during the school closures that wasn't necessarily as intense as when schools open. So there was a lot of resources and a lot of information. So here's what we did. Every teacher had to keep a work log every day of what they were doing. So I created a calendar for all my 13 students and all my staff members on a daily list. I was Zoom calling with students every day for about 3 hours, depending on what group you were in. I was creating educational YouTube videos every other day and putting them on Google Classroom. Each of my 5 staff members was assigned to one student, and they were in charge of checking in on them via text or phone to help with their assignments. I was researching and creating individual and group assignments to upload on Google Classroom. We were going to the store to buy art supplies, to buy cooking supplies. I ordered a Caterpillar unit online, and we were delivering those projects out to their houses. What else were we doing? I was checking in with the parents. I was calling the parents on the phone or checking in on them during Zoom to see if everybody was okay. I was meeting with the speech therapist and collaborating with them on lessons with my students. I was even inviting my old students. So a couple of my students who had graduated, I contacted their parents and I told them about what we were doing, and I asked them to jump on board with some of our classes. We were playing games. We played Jeopardy and Simon Says and I Spy and Hangman. We were telling jokes. We were playing music. I was trying to provide happiness and connection during our Zoom calls. We did some tongue twisters. We made ice cream. We made Jell-O. We made sensory rice. We made an instrument. We made an art project. We went on a nature walk. We did scavenger hunts. We played virtual video games. We already said music and songs. So we did the best that we could during distance learning, and I think we did a pretty good job. Towards the end of it, our Zoom calls were going for 2 hours. We had a group Zoom, and it was going for 2 hours because the students just loved being able to see each other and laugh and have that connection. As a Mod Severe teacher, last spring, I was working really hard. And if I need to do it again in the fall, I'm ready to do it. Right now, I don't have an opinion on what should happen in the fall. I miss my students, but I also want us to be safe. So I think I'm up for anything. Okay, I included a video from my distance learning below if you want to watch it, but thanks everybody, bye.